Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka GeekXX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Vinland Saga. We are now on to season 1, episode 23, which is called Miscalculation. So last episode, we got some more backstory on Askeladd and why he is the way he is, and this is after there was yet another duel between him and Thorfinn, which of course ended in Thorfinn's defeat, but basically Askeladd was like, please stop trying to fight me until you learn how to fight smarter. So we'll see whether or not that any of that got through to Thorfinn. We saw he ended the episode crying into the snow, so hopefully he's learned something and we'll see something different, because I'm definitely ready to see something different from him. So without further ado, let's jump into this episode. But just before I do, a reminder that if you'd like to be in the know of when I drop episodes, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now. No, that's all for Thorkel. All for Thorkel. You're looking great, pal. I don't really feel for him, honestly. As the expression goes, if you don't listen, you have to feel. Not that pain is a huge deterrent for this kid, but anyway. Ooh, the gossip mill is milling. And that's the way he liked it. Focus on the crown again. Every time we're with this man, he's either playing with the crown in his hand or we're focused on it on his head. The way Thorkel is just comically large. See, I told you it was all for Thorkel. Yep, I'm Thorkel. Just show me where the food is. I don't care about none of the rest. Whipping children, huh? Okay. You are. Oh, you mad your daddy's walking away from you? Ooh, the camera work. It's like, sir, unhand me. Unhand me. Yeah. Hands off. Thorfinn can't even give his usual glare. He's so beat up. He's like, oh. He's already beat up, bullies. Alright, he said, I'm not going to be putting up with quite that much from you guys. The headbutt. Yes. Hi. Some time in a cell might do you some good. You need to reflect on everything. Well, he's not guarding the prince now, is he? Thorfinn needs some time in a cell. He needs some time to reflect on all of his life choices up until now. Except for London. Oh, really? Is it? Is it really? Really, look me in the eye when you say that, Pops. Bite his ear off. Oh, not Cornwall? What? He's like, sure, whatever. Alright, King's making a play. You've got this, Irish. Kick them out. Hopefully Brian's still there. Maybe. Very, very possible. Well, can't say that Askeladd lacks in confidence. Oh, not impudent fools. Who refused? In England? Fist. Nip it in the bud. Oh, isn't that the area you're supposed to protect there, Askeladd? You thought he didn't have a counterattack, hey, Askeladd? He asked who your daddy was for a reason. Yeah, he asked who your daddy was for a reason. He found out everything he needed to know about you. Found out your mom was Welsh. Nah, I'm good. The floor is my friend. Yeah, let's leave. He still cares about your silly butt. He's like, how's it going there for you, buddy? These decisions working out for you? He's such a sweet boy. Hasn't. So does he. I don't think even he remembers how to smile, to be honest. Did they die, or did you take them out for the food? Not to the dad's last days. Ugh. Seasick just looking at this. Land ho! He knew your dad before you did. Whoever. It's decent. It's a decent amount of silver. Yep. You got caught, Askeladd. You're not as slick as you thought. Didn't I tell you not to get too cocky? Thorkel, just here for the food. Exactly. Also, that man that's the size of 16 houses. Let him eat. He didn't, but he does now. You sure? You sure he wouldn't? You don't know that he's not that petty. He could be. Checkmate. Possibly. I love that. This is the most valuable weapon he's got. What are you gonna do? I would, but my dad's here. My new dad. His name's Askeladd. Speaking truth there, kid. He never wanted this life for you. Or this life. Does Thorfinn know how to do anything but fight at this point, though? Interesting appeal. Interesting appeal. I feel like I definitely would have flown about 5 years ago, but now... Don't you start having your brain start working now, Thorkel. Need you to continue to be a dumb jock, thanks. Watch. Okay, I thought he was gonna fight that thing. People are catching on. Oh, honesty. Complete honesty. Thorkel's like, damn, okay. We'll see. Thorkel has no reason to tell anyone yet. Oh, your turn. Let's see what the king got for you.
どうしてこう土壇場の隙がないのかね。
I don't know, maybe it's all the whole pillaging and killing and, the things you've done to women and kids. I don't know. Just call me crazy. That might be a little bit of karma for you right there, Askeladd, but don't take my word for it. Okay, guys. Well, we understand the episode title now of Miscalculation. We see that with this whole banquet finally coming together, the king basically did what Askeladd expected him to do, which was to pretend that everything was good between him and Canute. He said he gave Canute Mercia. That's going to be his new place to rule. And Mercia at this point in time was one of the richer kingdoms in England. So everyone's like, okay, that's a very nice reward. Like he wouldn't give him one of the nicest kingdoms unless things were good. Or would he? But anyways, the rumor mill is still going, and that's what Askeladd wanted with the assassination attempt. And anyway, we see that Askeladd starts feeling himself a little too much, right? He starts feeling like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, the king's moving this way the way I expected because I put him into a corner. I've got it all figured out. I'm gonna get this whole battle the way I want. It's like easy peasy. I've got the whole chess games laid out. But as I said in the episode, I'm like, Askeladd, I think you need to calm down, bro. Like this is the king's literally said one thing, like calm down. And then we see that later on the king says that he has found that there's some vassal lords that are outside, that are in the outskirts of England that are not surrendering to him easily. And he's not liking that. He doesn't want them to get a rebellious spirit in their heads and start potentially fighting back against this Danish rule. So he said that come spring, they're going to be attacking Wales because that's where he sent out a request for them to become vassal lords of theirs twice, and they said no both times. So that was something, the miscalculation. Askeladd did not think the king would turn his eye to Wales so quickly. In fact, I don't think he thought that at all because we saw the king mention Ireland initially as well. And so he thought, sure, if you're going to Ireland, that's not my problem. But now he's like, nope, we're going to go to Wales instead. So understandably, Askeladd was like, huh? What? Because, the whole reason he got help from Wales a few episodes back is because he promised them that they would not be attacked by the king. And of course, they were saying that Canute would be the one to take over, and Canute made the promise that he was not going to attack Wales. But obviously, attacking the king right now is not something they can do. So Askeladd, again, didn't account for that. And he should know already. Last episode, I thought he was a little bit smarter in that he's like, the king is not an idiot. Like, he looks like he's a good battle master, but maybe he just thought that he was only good at combat and didn't realize that the king is just generally smart. But either way, I kind of like that though, because Askeladd does get a little high off himself more often than not. And he kind of needed a bit of a humbling here to see that, no, actually, this is the king. He's got a lot of chess pieces in his corner, more than you, actually. So he should be like, I think that if Askeladd just kept himself in the mindset of I'm always the underdog, that's always the better way to plan, right? Because if it turns out he doesn't need all the things, then great. But it's better to plan like you're going to be the underdog than to get cocky and think, no, I got this, because as we see here, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have it at all. So now I thought it was a great illustration of showing how his brain was going nuts, because that's definitely the muscle that he uses the most. And he's like, damn, what do I do? He's trying to figure out all the different things, like, okay, if I do a revolt, what will happen? If we do this, what will happen? And he's like, oh, I don't have enough time. Like, spring's not that far away. Like, it's probably, they didn't say exactly, just say it's winter of the year. So it could be a month away. It could be a couple of months away, but either way, it's not long. And we have to realize that back in those days, nothing happened quickly. It's not like today where you can send an email off to someone. Even getting a messenger to Wales at this point for him, that would be at least a 2-week journey. So nothing is quick, and whatever he thinks of would have to be something he can execute fairly quickly and potentially without letting Wales get the heads up. But anyways, we see that Box Top caught the fact that Askeladd looked sick to his stomach when they mentioned attacking Wales. And like I said, I feel like the king, when he found out who Askeladd was, is trying to find out everything he can about him. Like, a smart man would do that. I thought maybe he went as far as figuring out who Askeladd's mother is, but considering that she was a slave, I guess that's a bit of a stretch. Like, they probably have no idea. Most of those types of men did not keep accurate records about their slaves because they didn't care. But anyway, point being, I think that he definitely, how Askeladd is Canute's person to watch and see what's going on. That's Box Top to the king. And Box Top was watching and he saw that Askeladd did not look so good when they mentioned Wales. So he's like, there's definitely something happening there. And they would have known as well that Canute came through Wales to get to Gainsborough. So yeah, they're going to are they going to put everything together? Like, are they going to possibly figure out the connection that Askeladd has? Probably not. But they know enough now to know that Wales is a contentious thing for him. And that's all they need, right? They just need something to start potentially pressing and pushing in that direction. So like I said, I kind of like Askeladd being knocked off that horse of his. Like the fact that he didn't maintain that poker face, you know, it gave them something to work on going forward. So we'll see. The king's now like, we heard Box Top tell the king, like, keep in mind that Askeladd looked unsettled. So we might be onto something there, but I think the king's gonna have to weigh it out. If attacking Wales makes more sense than attacking Ireland, either way, you know, it's gonna take a lot. And those are two, if you look on a map, like Ireland, I'm trying to think of England's like this, Ireland's like up here and Wales is like down here. So point being, they're not close. If he sends his army to both places, they're going to be very far away from each other if either of them need help. So it's going to be a very calculated risk for him if he's going to go to one or the other, of which one will be better for him to attack. And we know from Askeladd that Wales would be better because Wales would be overrun pretty quickly. Like he said, they're proud people, but they're poor and they don't have a very big military. Although they had some really nice gear, I have to say. We saw that one guy that we saw a couple episodes back actually had some decent armor, but my guess is not all of their men have that. So anyway, so that's what's basically going down there. The game of chess is continuing to be played there, and we saw that Askeladd decided to fess up to Thorkel because Thorkel, like I said, suddenly this jock decided to have his brain start working. But he was like, wait a minute, you went to Wales when you were running from me, and you actually they let you through. How'd that happen exactly? Not since someone brought Wales up. So I like that. I like that Askeladd was smart enough to tell Thorkel the truth, because I think, as I said, I tease about Thorkel. I don't think he's dumb. I think he's just very simple, simple in what he wants. So anyways, I'm glad that Askeladd figured out that if he tried to spin some BS, that Thorkel probably wouldn't drop it. And he does not want to rock the very tenuous trust the two of them have right now. So he just came clean and said, that's my home and that's where my mother's grave is. So now Thorkel has that information. I don't think Thorkel's going to tell anyone though, because I think that Thorkel he wants to follow Canute more than anything at the moment. But I think also the fact that he knows that Askeladd and his great nephew have a connection, he's probably not wanting to do anything to mess with that just yet. So anyway, that's what's going on in the politics of it all. And then we see that with Thorfinn, he is still broken from the fight. He's upset that his daddy is mad at him. Let's be real. That's really what this is about. I think that, again, it's so messy because yes, you know, he keeps screaming that he hates Askeladd, but I've said repeatedly now, that's his dad. For all intents and purposes, Askeladd's become a substitute father, not the one he wanted and not one that he particularly likes, but there's a connection there. And the fact that Askeladd for the first time is basically like, you're stupid and I can't be bothered with you anymore. He can't handle that. Like, that's like daddy saying I'm disappointed in you, and he can't handle it. He can't. It shouldn't matter. Right? If you truly hated this man, it wouldn't matter if he hated you. It wouldn't matter if he thought you were dumb, but it matters because you care about what Askeladd thinks, right? Which he doesn't realize yet. So anyways, he's feeling some type of way, and that ended up getting him thrown in jail, but I'm not mad about it. As I said, it'll keep him from doing something stupid for now. And also I think he needs some time to actually think. I don't know if he knows how to do that. But anyway, Leif decided to visit him, and again, kind of just imploring him to think about going back home. Like, he's like, please, like, you know, this is what I promised your father, was that I was going to bring you, not really promised your dad, but in a way, actually, he did promise Thors that he would get all the boys home. And I think he meant his own. So he did kind of make a promise to Thors, and he's like, I really want to do that. Please let me do that. And Thorfinn doesn't want to hear about home. He hasn't articulated, but as I said multiple times now, I think he feels a lot of guilt around his dad, where his family is concerned, and that's why he doesn't want to dare return home. But then we see that instead the Leif talks about Vinland, because that's what Thorfinn asked about when he first met him. So now he was hoping that would be a carrot that might work. And he's like, you know, if you come with me, we can go to Vinland. Like, we'll go back to Iceland, get your family, and then we'll try going to Vinland together. Like, that's what your dad would have done if he'd lived. So we saw that for the first time since Leif got there, he sat up and hearing that, but I don't know whether or not it's something he's going to take seriously. But as I said, I just don't see it happening. Thorfinn has to make peace with whatever it is he's feeling about Askeladd before he'll be able to do anything at this point. Like, his whole life is revolved around that man. For, you know, love him or hate him, that man is his life. And so he needs to figure out what he wants to do and figure it out quickly. But leaving right now with Leif just does not feel like something that Thorfinn's prepared to do. The idea of losing sight of Askeladd is something that I think he's still not ready to accept, even though it would be the best thing for him on so many levels. But yeah, that's where we basically are at this point. You know, Thorfinn's got a choice ahead of him, one that I don't think he'll take, but you know, it's there. And Askeladd's got to figure out what he's going to do between now and spring to stop his home from being attacked by the Danes, because it will probably not go well for his people. So yeah, another interesting episode. I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love, and I will see you in the next one.